Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Israel Brief. I'm Rolene Marks, and the Israel Brief is brought to you every Monday to Thursday by these guys, Lay of the Land. And today is 326 days since the 7th of October. And it gives me such joy to read the following statement, a joint statement. I've got tears in my eyes. This was released literally moments ago by the IDF and the ISA, that's the Shabak, and I'm going to read you the announcement because they can say it even better than I can. Cleared for publication, the IDF and ISA rescued the hostage Qaid Farhan al-Qadi, aged 52, from Rahat, who was abducted by the Hamas terror organization into the Gaza Strip on October the 7th. Qaid is a Bedouin. Qaid Farhan al-Qadi was rescued by Shayetet 13, the 401st Brigade, Yahalom, and ISA forces under the command of the 162nd Division in a complex operation in the southern Gaza Strip. No further details can be published due to considerations for the safety of our hostages, the security of our forces, and national security. He is in a stable medical condition and is being transferred for medical checks at a hospital. His family have been updated with the details, and the IDF is accompanying him. Israeli security forces will continue to operate with all means to bring home the hostages. Bring them home now. I'm going to read you the press release from the Hostages and Missing Persons Family Forum. They say the Hostages Families Forum commends the rescue of Qaid Farhan al-Qadi. Qaid Farhan al-Qadi, a 52-year-old Bedouin father of 11 from south of Rahat, was kidnapped on October the 7th from his security job at Kibbutz Magen's packing factory. He endured 326 days in captivity. Qaid's return home is nothing short of miraculous. However, we must remember, military operations alone cannot free the remaining 108 hostages who have suffered 326 days of abuse and terror. A negotiated deal is the only way forward. We urgently, you can hear all the messages coming in, we urgently call on the international community to maintain pressure on Hamas to accept the proposed deal and release all hostages. Every single day in captivity is one too many. The remaining hostages cannot afford to wait for another such miracle. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for all your support. We know that this is also helping to bring them home. God bless the IDF and the Shabak, and of course, Qaid Farhan al-Qadi. May his recovery go smoothly and well. We wish him every joy and success. Now let's take a look at some of those other stories making headlines. And Itamar Ben-Gvir, Israel's national security minister, has sparked outrage by stating that if there was such a scenario, he would build a synagogue on the Temple Mount. Now, just to remind everybody that we have a very fragile and very important status quo in place. This means that Jews are allowed onto the Temple Mount, Christians are allowed onto the Temple Mount, but we are not allowed to pray. Whatever happens on the Temple Mount affects billions of Muslims around the world, and Israel's policy is, while it is not banned for Jews to go up, we want to respect and be sensitive to the needs of Muslims around the world. Of course, this resulted in immediate condemnation, with the Prime Minister's office releasing a statement saying there will be no disruptions to the status quo. The Defense Minister Yoav Gallant saying that Ben-Gvir is dangerous and irresponsible, and leaders of Israel's ultra-Orthodox community calling him a political pyromaniac. He is a very, very divisive character here in Israel, and we heard condemnation from countries like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Egypt. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry issuing a statement today calling for respect. Last week, I brought you the story that the Hostages Forum, as well as several of the kibbutzim that were so badly affected by the events of the 7th of October, will be boycotting the National Memorial. They say they will not allow themselves to be used as political photographs for the Prime Minister, basically, who they feel has failed them. And many around Israel totally respect this. The Prime Minister has tapped Minister of Transport Miri Regev to plan the commemoration, and she has said that despite the noise, she will continue. Now, this has resulted in a lot of criticism. Idan Ahmedi, one of the stars of Fauda, who was seriously injured during battle inside the Gaza Strip, said that, the day is not about her. The day is about the people who suffered the most. And Israelis feel that, first of all, she is the wrong personality to handle this. And second of all, this should be done with the most extreme sensitivity towards the families and in cooperation with them as well. On Friday, President Herzog offered to host a ceremony without any political symbols, he said, which could also mean without any political representatives, so that it would respect everybody's sensitivities, and she refused that offer. She refused that offer. She rebuffed that and went ahead with a meeting today. So what we do know is the event will be held in Ofakim, one of the two towns also severely impacted, and the towns of Ofakim and Sderot say that they will participate. And Israel's government have taken out an ad on Google which shows the allegations that Israel has made against UNRWA, that's the United Nations Relief Works Agency, specifically meant to be responsible for distributing aid in the Gaza Strip. But as we have found throughout this war, that they have been complicit in Hamas terror activities as well as incitement over the decades. Well, the government have paid for a Google ad that shows what they believe UNRWA is guilty of, and a reminder that former President Trump, when he sat in office, he pulled the funding from UNRWA, and many countries did as the allegations came out. And one thing is for sure, is UNRWA needed in the days after following the war? This will have to be decided, but I can tell you one thing is for sure with Israelis: we don't want UNRWA or anything to do with UNRWA on our doorstep. They have been responsible for incitement in their schools, which has seen this never-ending cycle of hatred, terror, and death. Right, now onto our audience question of the day, and it's actually two questions that come from Peter Hunter from South Africa. Peter asks that about the tunnels in Gaza, were they known about? Because they couldn't just be a recent occurrence. And will Hezbollah agree to a ceasefire as they have no live hostages? Okay, so let's unpack the first part of your question, Peter. Israel did know about the tunnels. However, it was believed that Hamas had no interest in engaging with war with the state of Israel. They had certainly given those kind of indications over the last years. And Israel was ensuring that financial aid was getting into the Gaza Strip for the Palestinians, and really using the carrot and stick approach with Hamas. We knew that they had tunnels. Many of the tunnels were attacked during previous conflagrations, but as we learned on October the 7th, that their ruse of not being interested in war with Israel was exactly that. It was a ruse, and now Israel is systematically going through the Gaza Strip, dismantling and destroying those tunnels. With regards to the second part of your question, first of all, Hezbollah don't have hostages. Please God, they never have hostages. It is Hamas who hold hostages, and as we've just learned, there are still hostages alive, which is why it is absolutely crucial that we do everything we can to bring them home, to get those that are still alive home to their families, to recover, and those that are no longer with us to be laid to rest, as the 6 were last week. The problem is Hamas is not agreeing to these ceasefire agreements. They want to draw this out as long as possible on their terms. They want full Israeli troop withdrawal. That is absolutely not going to happen until Israel is satisfied that Hamas have been roundly defeated and our hostages have come back. In other words, that we have reached our goals of this war. So I hope that answers your question, Peter. And remember, guys, if you want to ask a question, please pop it in the comments section below or be in touch via our Facebook page or website. And speaking of our website, you can find us at www.layoftheland.online, our Facebook page at Lottle's site, our YouTube channel is at the Israel Brief. You can find us right here. And you can also find us on X at layoftheland5. I'm Roleen Marks. This has been a really, really blessed edition of the Israel Brief to start off with such incredible news. 108 hostages. We want them home now. God bless you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And God bless the IDF and our security forces working round the clock to secure us and to bring them home now. See you tomorrow.